Hey guys, hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Park and welcome to another Spider-Man toy review. Today, let's take a look at this new Marvel Legends character from Kingpin Build-A-Figure Wave. It's the Symbiote Spider-Man. Alright, Spidey fans, so what we have in front of us is the Symbiote Spider-Man. He is one of the 8 Marvel Legends characters in this wave, Build-A-Figure Kingpin included, and was released here in the Philippines last week of December 2018. This Spider-Man version is the Black Symbiote Spider-Man in the Amazing Spider-Man number 800 from 2018, written by Don Slott. Norman Osborn here discovered that Peter Parker was a Spider-Man. Norman Osborn, aka the Green Goblin, merged with the Carnage symbiote, thus becoming the Red Goblin. The Red Goblin decides to make Peter Parker's life miserable by attacking Peter's family and friends, thus making Spider-Man's allies such as Miles Morales, Silk, Agent Venom, and many more coming to his aid. Later in the fight, Venom came to Spider-Man's aid. As the Red Goblin was escaping, Eddie Brock suggested that Spider-Man needs an upgrade as well like the Red Goblin and offers the Venom symbiote to Peter Parker. Hesitant at first, Peter later on accepted the offer, thus becoming this version of the Black Symbiote Spider-Man. And now for Symbiote Spider-Man's packaging. Top left, Build-A-Figure Marvel's Kingpin. Top right, Ages 4+ with the warning. Top center, Legend Series. Bottom center, Marvel Spider-Man, indicating that this is a Spider-Man wave. Black Symbiote Spider-Man at the bottom and a Hasbro logo right there. So you can easily see here that how Symbiote Spider-Man is packaged at the front, and he came with an extra pair of hands. So you have technically 2 open hands and 2 closed fists. And he also came with a Build-A-Figure part for Kingpin, 2 heads for Kingpin. The first head here is a serious Kingpin, and the second head is a very angry Kingpin. So very generous of Hasbro right there to give us display options for Kingpin. And at the side, you can see a nice artwork of the Black Symbiote Spider-Man, and it has the same artwork at the other side. At the top, Spider-Man logo. At the bottom, some product details. And at the back, you can see a toy photography of Spider-Man. Marvel Legends series at the top right, Symbiote Spider-Man right here, Build-A-Figure Marvel's Kingpin, and quickly for his wave mates, we have Spider-Man, Black Cat, Puma, of course, Symbiote Spider-Man, Nightcrusher, Silver Sable, Red Goblin, and of course, the Build-A-Figure for this wave, it's Marvel's Kingpin right there. At the bottom, you can see some product details, and as you can see, it says 2018 Hasbro. And at the top left, you have a product bio, and it says, the Venom symbiote gives Peter Parker a black suit with special enhanced powers. Actually, this should be enhanced. So they got this word wrong. So Hasbro, review your product bio next time, since this wrong spelling right here came into production. So that's it for the packaging of the Symbiote Spider-Man, and let's open this up and let's see how amazing Symbiote Spider-Man really is. And here is Symbiote Spider-Man out of his packaging. So let's take a look first at Kingpin's Build-A-Figure parts, his heads. So the first head, very quickly, here is Kingpin's body with his cane. To form Kingpin, here it is. So that's Kingpin at the front, at the side, at the other side, and here it is. Here he is at the back. So that's Kingpin with the serious head. So very quickly for size comparisons, that's Kingpin with the serious head side by side with the Symbiote Spider-Man. For the second head, here's the angry Kingpin. So let's put this on. And angry face on. Here is close-up look at the front. Here is at the side, at the other side, and of course at the back. Here you go. And for quick size comparison, here is your angry Kingpin side by side with the Black Symbiote Spider-Man. And for Symbiote Spider-Man himself, so here he is at the front, here he is at the side, here he is at the back, and here he is at the other side. So let's take a look. I think for the body mold, this is the same version with the same mold with the Superior Venom and the Lasher. So for quick comparison, here he is with Lasher. So they have the same body mold as indicated in the feet. You can see here the thighs, the arms right here. Of course, different head, different molds for the head, and for the back without this contraption right here that the tentacles is attached. So that's the difference. And let's take a look first at the extra hands of Symbiote Spider-Man. Here it is at the top, at the side, at the bottom, and at the other side. So here it is the front. So that's the closed fist hand. And for the open hand, so there you go. Here it is at the top, at the side, at his palms, the other side, and here it is at the front. So that's the extra hands for Symbiote Spider-Man. And for Spider-Man himself, here it is. Here he is at the front. So nice head sculpt there. As you can notice on this version of Spider-Man, the lens are a little detached right here. So that's both left and right. So that's the back, the side, the front, and at the other side. And here it is the Spider-Man logo for the Symbiote Spider-Man logo. For this version, his thighs and his feet. And for the arms, here it is at the side for the arms. And as you can notice, the hands here, this is a diamond shaped hand design. So in the previous Spider-Man versions, like this one, the white is square with a dot. This time it's designed as diamond. So some new design for the new Black Symbiote Spider-Man right here. And if you are asking if this hand mold right here is the same with Lasher, they are different actually. As you can see how the fingers are positioned or articulated in this, so they have different hand molds. I'm not sure if it is the same with the Superior Venom, but yeah, that is your Black Symbiote Spider-Man. For Symbiote Spider-Man's articulation, his head can move side to side, left and right. His head can move this far up and this far down, wide range of motion there. His arms can move 360 degrees right here. His arms can move this far up and move this far down. He has upper swivel in the arm. He has double jointed elbows. No lower arm swivel, but his wrist can move 360 degrees. His hands can move this far up and move this far down. For the body, he has butterfly joints that can be moved back and forward like this. So more dynamic poses for Spidey here. But be careful. Word of advice is when you move his arms up like this and down like this, you might want to pinch or hold on to this butterfly joint right here, because I've seen reports that people are saying that on their figures, their butterfly joints easily broke off. So this is the weakest part of this body mold, and we have seen this body mold on other figures, so we might face mold degradation over the past few months or over the years. So just be careful not to break this part right here. And he has an ab crunch right here, so his body can move forward like this and lean back like that. He has waist swivel. His legs can be moved forward like this and move far back like that. So he also has this upper thigh swivel. He has double jointed knees right there. Unfortunately, no lower leg swivel, but his feet can be moved this far up and this far down, and he has these ankle rockers or ankle pivots. So there you have it. That's the Articulation for Black Symbiote Spider-Man. And in terms of playability, in terms of his detachable hands and extra pair of hands, of course, this is detachable and you can replace this with a closed fist hand right here. So you have both closed fists, and you can replace the other hand with the open hand. So this time you have this hand open and this is the closed fist, or you can put two open hands. And if you have other Marvel Legends figures like the Anad Spidey and the Pizza Spider-Man, you can replace the hands also with the, if you like, with the standard Spider-Man hands. Just be careful when selecting your Spider-Man hands, because the peg right here, if you can see closely, the Pizza Spider-Man has this kind of peg right here. So this is double notch, I think, right here. So compared to this, so be careful with that, because this might ruin this part right here. You might want to select a set of hand like with the same peg right here. So you can put the all new, all different Spider-Man hand right there. And of course, his head is also detachable. So if you would like, you can use the standard Spider-Man head right here. So there you go. It looks like Spider-Man is some of his parts are not yet covered with the symbiote, or maybe you can put both hands. So your imagination, you just use your imagination how to play with him. And of course, my favorite of them all would be the Peter Parker head. Let's just put his hands first right here. So his standard left and right hands, and replace the head with a Peter Parker head right here. So as you can see right here, that is my favorite now of the mix and match. I have now the Peter Parker Symbiote Spider-Man. So very nice. And for some quick size comparisons, here's your Symbiote Spider-Man along with the Pizza Spider-Man and all new, all different Spider-Man we have earlier. And here's your ASM 800 Black Symbiote Spider-Man along with the other symbiote characters among the Marvel Legends line. So first we have the original Black Symbiote Spider-Man, you have Poison, you have Agent Venom, and of course Lasher. And here's your Amazing Spider-Man 800 Black Symbiote Spider-Man along with the different Black Symbiote Spider-Man from both Toy Biz and Hasbro. First off, we have the Web Glider Spider-Man. Next is the Classic Series 1 Black Symbiote Spider-Man. At the back, you can see here the Marvel Legends, the new Marvel Legends series Black Symbiote Spider-Man from Hasbro. This is the Rogue Spidey or the Red Hulk Build-A-Figure Black Symbiote Spider-Man. The Black Symbiote Spider-Man from the Spectacular Spider-Man animated series, and the Secret Wars Black Symbiote Spider-Man. This is the Glider Spider-Man figures. First off with the silver logo on his chest, and its variant with the white logo on his chest. And for more size comparisons, here are your Marvel Legends figures along with the other Symbiote Spider-Man from the other toy lines. These two right here, left and right, are from the Spider-Man 3 movies starring Tobey Maguire. And these two right here are from the Marvel Universe toy line. And this one right here is the classic Symbiote Spider-Man from Toy Biz 1990s toy line. Here is ASM 800 Black Symbiote Spider-Man with the rest of his wave mates. And finally, here's your ASM 800 Black Symbiote Spider-Man along with his nemesis, the Red Goblin. Alright, so some final words before we end. If I could rate this figure from the scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the highest, I could give this Black Symbiote Spider-Man an easy 9. In terms of the design, I think Hasbro nailed it. the eyes, the spider symbol at the front and at the back, this is very comic accurate. One thing I noticed is at the cover of Amazing Spider-Man number 800, he has some web lines on his sides. So this figure is missing those web lines. If they could have just included an accessory like what they did to Spider-Man Tom Holland or Jessica Drew, the web accessory for their for the side of their body, if they have included something like that in this figure, this would be nearly perfect. So yeah, that's the only thing I've noticed. But in terms of the design, I think this is very comic accurate. I don't know if there are body molds more suited than this, more better than this body mold, but for me this body mold is just fine. In terms of the articulation, he has all the articulation that he needs. He is just missing the lower leg swivel, but overall he has even this butterfly joint. So overall, Spider-Man can do amazing poses, dynamic poses because of those number of articulation. If there's one thing I can suggest for Hasbro, maybe strengthen those butterfly joints, because breaking those butterfly joints are really sad for us collectors. We love to play with our figures, and those weak parts are really an issue. And another issue I noticed on my personal figure are these paint chips right here. It's very noticeable. I hope that this is not rampant on other figures, but for me, I've been very careful on my figures, but this already has paint chips out of the box. So yeah, another QC issue there that Hasbro still has to resolve up to now. But overall, the figure is really great. I know that this figure is not for all Spider-Man collectors out there. Maybe some will pass on this, but if you are like me that love to collect different versions of Spider-Man, especially black versions of Spider-Man, this is definitely a must-get figure. It's nice to have them along with your black Spider-Man collection. And yeah, this is another Spider-Man comic character that came to life in toy form. So very nice job there, Hasbro. Thank you for giving us this Symbiote Spider-Man. So I think that's it for my review, and thank you for staying with me at this point of the video. We would like to invite you to visit our Facebook page. It's called Spider-Man Collection Philippines by Park Rafael, and there you can see more Spider-Man collectibles and Spidey stuff. Like, comment, and subscribe. Ring the bell button if you want notifications from us, and as always, thank you for watching, and always stay amazing.